Hi, this is Everett, Everett's Watercolors, and welcome to Simply Drawing with Everett. It's 7:30 live broadcast from Chesapeake, Virginia, and I'm broadcasting to LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and also I'll be doing a later live a follow-on broadcast to um, Instagram. Then my studio tonight with my wife Gloria.
Hello.
And she'll be monitoring the broadcast and the chat room. The chat room's live, so you can leave me a comment or ask a question, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you're the first time you've watched me on my show, please subscribe to my channel. You'll get weekly videos and weekly announcements of when my next broadcast will be. And give me a thumbs up to what you like, and then give me some questions and comments, and I'll reply to you as soon as I can. What we're going to do tonight, we're going to do a drawing, and this drawing is one I've done. I did a plein air drawing. I'll show it to you later, but I'm going to do an actual drawing tonight. And it's going to be a sketch. A sketch is different from a drawing. A drawing is a little more detailed. A sketch is to capture the shapes and the size and so forth, and to capture the essence of the object. So I'm going to take you over to my close-up cameras and show you my setup. Oh, this is the subject. It's going to be a yacht or a boat. That's going to be the subject to draw tonight, or sketch. And my material, I'm going to use a ruler tonight to use it for measuring, just a couple quick measurements, using a 12-inch ruler, which I think is a nice thing handy to have when you're drawing. I'm going to be drawing with my fountain pen, my black fountain pen with black ink, so you can follow along and see how I actually draw. It'll be nice and dark for you to see. And I'll be shading in with a little shader pencil. It's a black graphite pencil, about a 4B, width as far as lead is concerned, a 4B, and I'll be shading in some areas with this. Okay, we'll put that aside. And I'll be using some colored pencils also. I'll be using colored pencils from my Holbein colored pencil set. I'll be using some colors there to do a little bit of background after I do the drawing. Okay. Well, to get started, I'm going to do some rough estimates. The photograph here, I'm going to go over with my ruler, and you look at the length here, and that's approximately 9 inches long for the length. That's 9 inches, okay? And for the height, from the bottom to the top, is approximately 3 inches. So it's about a 3-to-1 ratio. 9 inches by 3, that's a 9-to-3 ratio. Now, a couple other things I want to measure. I'm going to go from the bow up to this point right here, where I guess the cabin, or this cabin starts, a large cabin. That's about 3 inches. I'm going from the cabin, front of the cabin, to the front of this doorway. It's got a brown color. If you can see the colors, that's brown. But right there, that's another 3 inches. And from there to the stern is another 3. So I got from here to here is 1/3. From here to here is 2/3. From here to here is 3/3. So I can break this drawing down into thirds, and that's how I start when I do a drawing. I get a rough estimate of what size of the object I want to draw. I get some proportions. So a proportional guess or a proportional measurement is the most important thing to do. The photo reference, I'm going to use a photo reference, and I'm going to do a pen and ink drawing here with my black ink fountain pen. So I'm going to start out with, I'm going to put down a baseline here, and I'm going to start here at the bottom. I'm going to start about right here. This will be where I'm going to start here at the bow and go all the way to the stern. I'm going to draw a line. It's going to be a sketch, so I'm going to just capture the shape and the essence. Okay, and I'm going to estimate now from the stern of the boat, or the yacht. I'm going to mark something about right there. I'm just going to make an estimate right there. Okay, now I'm going to go on out here, and the bow, you can see here the bow goes up at an angle. I'll go ahead and put that in. It's a little bit higher than the stern. I'm going to go out like this. And it's got a forward part of the brow goes out here where the front of the actual actual structure out to there. Okay, so I've got this point in the bottom and this point back here. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and estimate thirds. So I'm not going to measure with a ruler. I measure the ruler just to get the actual size on the photograph. But here I'm going to estimate the thirds. So I'm going to take, I can take a pencil here, or just take a shot here. There's one, and that's a little bit longer than that. So let's see, a third would be about right here, about right here, and about right here. Okay, that's about it. And the third's going to come out back a little bit more than that. Okay, so there's my thirds. And what I'll start here now, let's build the super. I'm going to build the superstructure here, or the actual part of the main part of the boat, the hull, Hull, the hull of the boat. So I'm going to go ahead and draw this line across here. This is a sketch, so I'm just going to get a quick sketch in here. Back to the stern. Okay, so that gets the hull. And I've got this back here, and it's got a little bit of a got an angle to it. So I got a little bit of back here. I can put that in there a little bit, and so I actually got the stern. There's a little place here where you can stand on. I guess a little ladder in the back there where you can step off. Okay. Now, what I want to do now is I'm going to start measuring those thirds. I'm going to take this thirds here. I'll take this thirds here, and I'm going to move the thirds. Remember, I marked the third here, right here. And that's where the cabin starts. But before I get to the cabin, there's a lower portion here, which is below the main deck. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. That's about halfway. From here to there is about halfway. So I'll mark that. Okay, and that goes up and goes back. I can go ahead and draw that in. I can go ahead and draw that in. So this lower cabin here, just above the main cabin, will take me on back. I got that far right there. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going back to this line here. Remember, I got this here. This is by the doorway. This line here, 1/3. The 2/3 is in the front. Now up here, I can go ahead and put the. At this point, I measure 1/3 back from the bow. Go up to, and I can go ahead and start putting in this part of the cabin, right, a main cabin. Okay. Now what I want to do now is I want to make sure I got the thirds. So I'm going to take this measurement here, which is the third, and I want to go up here. So the top of the structure here is going to be. So what I did, I took 1/3 of the length, which is what I've already marked, and I already said it was this section here is 1/3 of the distance. So I took that distance, and I moved it up. I'm going to go ahead and estimate the top of the structure up here, where this cover is. Now look here, I can see just by observation, this is about 1/3 of the way up. So I can really cut that down, say 1/3 of the way up. So this is really estimating thirds. It's about right. There's a first third, second third, and a top third. All right. So I can go ahead and start drawing this in. And you can see here, the cabin here has got a little bit of overhang going up to this point. I can go across here. I'm going to draw that part in. It goes back here. Let's see. Before I get too far ahead, let's see. I can draw in. I remember I measured this structure here, the doorway. So I can go ahead and put that in. And the doorway is going to go up here, in front of the door. And there's this little part here. I'm estimating that. And the doorway, this section here goes across, right here. And just before you get to that point there, it's going to have a overhang. So there's the top of the main cabin. And that goes on back here. And then I can get this part here. I can move this. This goes all the way back to here. I can put this doorway in. It comes down to here. This part goes all the way back. And this lower cabin, the lower cabin below the deck, below the main deck here, below that there's a section. And I can come up here. Let's see, this one comes up about right, just before we get to the end, this comes up here, the main cabin. And then I can go ahead and put the roof in. And I can go ahead and put the back part of the deck in there and put the back side. The back part of the cabin's over here. It's at a slight angle so I can see the back portion of the, it's got a little curve to it. And I'll go ahead and put the top in. Put the roof top on the main cabin right there. Okay. And this has a, I'll put the windows in last. Okay, so I got this section here. I got the window section. I got this section here, and the top section is one more. So it goes up, and then it goes back. Let's see, going back. It'll go past the doorway. The doorway's here, so it'll go all the way back here. The doorway is here, so this will come down past the doorway, which would be a little further, about right there. Okay. Then this has a cover on it, the roof of the lookout. That's where the pilot would be when he's steering the vessel. Okay, now I can put in a couple other marks in here. Let's see. This window. This window is right here. There's a little bit, there's a little eave, right? There's a little section here, and then it goes back on this bottom section, and then it comes down about just before I get to this section here. It has an angle to it. Okay, there's that. Now I've got this. I've got the windows. This is going to have a little curve to it. And I can put these, there's a little, it's like a plastic or whatever cover is on this thing, the windows. I can put some of these dividers in here. And there's one back here toward the back. Okay, then I can, this window I've already got in, the doorway has a window in it, so I can go in here. Now let's see, this back window is a little bit higher than this, so I can put the back window in. I'll go in here and put this back window, goes in here, and it slants up. Just under the roof. Okay, that one's in, and there's a window here in the back. I can put that in, it's the same height. And just see part of it. You just see part of that around the other side. Put the window in. Okay. Then I can go ahead and put this deck in. The deck goes in around here. Okay. I can capture some of these little windows along the side here. The windows here and below deck. So just below the main deck here is a window here, just above the door, just below the door. Doorway, window. The doorway has a window in it, so we can put that in. We'll put that in. The doorway has a window. And that goes all the way up to that cover. Here we go. All right, we're doing good on time. All right, now, so I can come below the door, and I'll get this one window in here. There's back here below deck. There's a window right here. They don't call them portholes here, but it's basically the same idea. It's a window that's below deck. Aboard a large vessel, they call these portholes. I get portholes. There's one over here in the middle. We'll put that one in, and there's one more toward the end. Put that in. Okay, I'll forget the one in the back there. There's two little ones up here in the front, so we'll stick those in. We've got one about right here in this section. There's a little window, little window to pop outs, and a little window right here. Put those in. Okay, now last thing, there's a railing around this, which is interesting. So let's see, get the railing in. The railing starts out here at the very end. Now this front part has a little. I'll make this section a little stronger looking because that's something you would stand on out there. So it'd be like a stand. Go out there and you can. I guess you can check. I guess the anchor would go out there, and you can go out there and monitor that. So we can put this in. Now I want to look at the railing. The railing goes about halfway up the window. So I can start that right here. I'm going to put the railing in here, and it's going to go all the way around the boat. So it's going to go up here. This will go all the way out to the bow, and it curves up just a little bit here, and then it goes flat. Okay, then it has some poles to it, some structure here. I'll put a couple of them in. I'm not going to put them all in, just put enough to show that there's something there. And then in between, I'll put one here, and then I'll put another one here, and put another one here. It looks like there's a little break here, which is good, because that's probably, if you were getting off the off on the other side of the boat, you would probably have another opening here to get off. So this would be an opening here, and this goes on up over to here, and then it goes. The railing goes up, and then it goes back. It goes back to the stern of the boat. We'll put that in. And it's got a couple, and right at the doorway, there's one right here at the door. It goes down. And there's another one here in the middle of this window. And there's one here at the very end, over here. Okay. All right. So I've got the main structure of the yacht or the boat. Now let me see. I want to go ahead now and put in some. These windows now are shaded, so I'm going to put the windows in. Put these windows down here. I'll use the ink. I'll use the dark ink. It's really easy to use. I got the ink pen already, so I'll just fill those in. Okay, and then I'm going to take for the larger areas, I'm going to use the shaded pencil. So up here at the top, you can see here at the top is shaded. There's a dark blue, so I'm going to go ahead and shade that in with a graphite pencil. And then the window here, the windows on the doorway, I'm going to shade that in. Which means they're shaded. They're a shaded window. You probably can see out, but you can't see in. That's probably one, just like it is in a car. You can do a one-way window where you can see. The person inside can see out, but you can't see in, for privacy. And also to keep the sun from coming into the inside the interior of the boat. Also, keep a little cooler inside. All right, and that one's all done. And oh, this big window here, I can go ahead and color that in. There's a big window here on the side. That's probably the sitting. That's probably the sitting room where most of the people sit. Is in this section here. Okay. So I got the main thing shaded in. And again, I'm not going to put a lot of, adding detail is just something you can always do. I want to get the main part of the structure. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a few more details around the exterior now. So what I'm going to do here is you can see there's always a at the bottom of the boat there's always a darker color. It's either, just in case it's blue, it could be red, it could be any color. In this case, it's dark, so I'm going to use the ink pen to color that in. That's the bottom of that's the bottom, and there's a little overhang here at the back. I guess if you were swimming, you want to get up the ladder, you can come up that way, or it'd be another access to get into the boat. And I'm not going to draw the ladder in. That's just an unnecessary detail at this point. Let me pull this out of here. Now, what I'm going to do is also, now I want to show the water line. The water line is about right here. And the shoreline, or where you get off and step out, would be about right here. So let me go over here on this side. The shoreline, the water line is about right here on the pier. And then there's there's a pier level is about right there. Okay. And I'm going to take my graphite pencil. I'm going to shade that in also, so we differentiate there. I'll shade in the pier, or the land, or the dock, whatever it's called. Could be a pier, could be a dock, could be a landing. There's all kinds of ways of describing that, but it's the location next to where they're moored up or where they're tied up. Okay, all right. That's part of it. Now, what I want to do now, just to kind of finish this off a little bit more, is I'm going to do take my colored pencils now, and I'm going to put in some background, just to dress it up a little bit. So I've got this. I'm pretty happy now. I got the shaded I got the shape, windows, all the lower windows, and the shape of the hull, and so forth. Okay, so I'm just going to take the color pencil. This happens to be cobalt blue, and I'm just going to go up here and color in a little sky. Just put a little blue sky behind the boat. That way, I just have a little color in here, and this kind of dresses up the drawing or the sketch. This particular photograph here has trees in the background, but I've decided not to put the trees in tonight. Just to put something simple like a skyline. Let's put a little blue back here, a little blue sky. You can put any color you want to. Blue is one of my favorite colors, so I like to put blue on there. And there's a lot of blue on this boat too, so I decided to use the graphite pencil to put the dark shades in, and use the blue pencil to go around the outside. So this is kind of give me a little background, and I'm not going to worry about the details of going where this is a plastic up here that you can see through it. No, just going to go ahead and put it in, and I'm going to turn the page just a little bit so I can. I'm using the side of the colored pencil, and for shading, that's the best way to do it. Don't use the point. The point wears down the pencil too fast. So I use the side of the pencil, the side of the lead, when you shade something in. Otherwise, you'll run out of lead real quickly if you use the point all the time. You draw with a point, but you shade with the side. Okay, just kind of round it off a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to use another color now. I'm going to use another blue for this water. This happens to be cerulean blue, and I'll put this down in the water here. Again, a little reflection in the water. Again, I'm just going to put a little blue down here just to kind of finish off the drawing a little bit. Just kind of give a little interest. And I'm also going to put a little shadow pattern here for the boat. So there was a reflection. It really wouldn't reflect. You see here, you don't see the white reflection here, but you see the dark. You see the dark shadow of the because it depends on the direction of the sun. This photograph was taken early in the morning, or I think it's I think it's sun. No, this was taken at around noontime because the sun's up the top here. So really, there wasn't much of a shadow from the sun except for on the top. So I can pretty well tell that that's what happened here. So put a little bit of blue around here for the shadow for that part, and what I'll do then is I'll take another color. Let's say I'll take the purple. I've got a purple color here, violet, and I'll go ahead and put in a shadow pattern here, shadow for the boat. A little shadow pattern down underneath the boat here, just to show that there was a. And that'll have to be a little bit darker than the watercolor. So I'll pick up another color, and I think what I'll do is I'll darken. I'll pick up my black, and that will really darken it up. Of course, I could have put ink down there, but the ink would have been really too much of a contrast. It would have put too much. It would have been gone too far. I just wanted to be a little shadow down here, just to show that the light was shining on the top and just into the water. Show a little dimension. Okay. All right. Now what I would do now when I'm finished is I would pick up a mat, and I could take this little drawing, and I could make it into a little. If I really want to finish it up and do if I was putting this into a display, or I was going to go, if I was on competition for drawings, I'd put a mat around. But I put a mat board around it, a little bit of mat that finishes. This is a 7x10 piece of drawing paper, and so that kind of finishes it off. That makes a nice little drawing. Now let me show you some things that I've done here before I let you go. I did a field. This is a field sketch I did of the same boat. And I did this back about over a month ago. I have it dated here, field sketch 12/10, which is over a month ago. And you can see here, I captured the boat itself, but I got the building behind and the trees and so forth. So that's a field sketch where I wanted to capture the environment. The boat docked up to the next to the pier with the posts and so forth. And to kind of get the environment. There was a tree line behind, and there was a big building behind the boat and so forth. So that's what I did when I went to the field. Which is what I took the picture of. I took a picture of it. When I did that, this is the picture I took. Okay, but tonight I want to just draw the boat, and to give you an example of how to take a photograph of anything. You can take a photograph of a boat, a house, or some of your favorite subjects outside, and then you can make a drawing out of it. And here I just showed a sketch, which is just capturing the shape and the size. And I showed what I did here is I used the ruler to get the. First of all, I captured the ratio of the length of the photograph and the height of the photograph, and then I divided it down into thirds, and compared it with the top, and even the top side, I divided this by thirds, going up the top. So that set me up as far as drawing goes. And then putting the details was really very helpful once you get the size down and get the proportions down. So I hope you enjoyed that tonight. Give me a thumbs up if you like that. Also, give me some questions if you have those down the road. I'll be back here next Thursday at 7:30 with another drawing or another drawing exercise. And hope you'll join me then next Thursday at 7:30 p.m. I'm here. I do watercolors at 2 p.m. on Thursday live. I'll do a live here at 7:30 with Simply Drawing Whatever. And then on Sunday, I do at 2 o'clock on Sunday. I do a video that'll be on the YouTube, which is anyone can draw with one line, and I think you'll find it very interesting on Sunday. So tune in to me on Sunday and follow me with my anyone can draw with one line. It's about a less than 15-minute presentation. It'll be on video, which means if you find me on YouTube, it'll be on YouTube. And on Facebook, but on YouTube mainly it'll be broadcasted, and then you can find me there and then take a look at it.
And if they're subscribed, they'll get a notification.
If you subscribe to tonight's video and you subscribe to the Anyone Can Draw with One Line, you'll also get an announcement of future shows, and that's always a benefit for you. Once you subscribe, you'll be notified of the future shows. So I'll see you next week, and you all take care. It's getting a little bit warmer, but the cold weather is still out there. So stay warm, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.